me feeling like I'm academics. Can't
Van Lathan's co-host, Rachel Lindsay, goes off on Nicki Minaj. Let's hear this.
Just like, it's Nicki Minaj. It's like, this is the least, I was not shocked to see her walking out hand in hand with Erica Kirk.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know if Nicki Minaj was aware of where she was.
What?
Did you watch it?
I did.
Wait, why would she say Nicki's not aware of where she is? Like Nicki's stupid.
It was one of the most awkward things. Nicki Minaj is not well. And neither is this whole movement, this TPUSA, this AmpFest, whatever you want to call it. It was a joke. Nicki Minaj goes on rants attacking Black children, but then wants to sit on that stage and preach for us, Black women, allegedly, to not attack white children. But she attacks Black children. Let's not forget her unhinged tweets towards Cardi B's children. She does that. But then she's accusing us of doing that. Nobody's doing that. Your husband and brother are pedophiles.
Oh, shit.
And they have been convicted.
Yeah.
And you constantly defend them. But you're sitting on stage with people who are supposed to be the party that's about protecting children. Nicki Minaj, she's full of contradictions. She's aligned herself with the correct party because that's a party.
Wait, let me ask a question. And I actually do hate this about people in, this country. And I'm saying this, I'm from this country, clearly. If this speech right here, which is kind of throwing a lot at Nicki, if it was in reference to her comments about Cardi B's kid, spot on, because Nicki was wilding. But I hate that people, most people draw the line? It's not when she says something about Cardi's kid, and that actually, to me, one of the most disgusting things. They draw the line that Nicki just kind of presenting that she might have a political affiliation. Like, who the fuck cares? Like, who cares? Like, I get it, she's a role model, this and third, but are we comparing her aligning or possibly aligning with TPUSA or Trump to her basically saying all them vile things about Cardi B's kid? Who gives a fuck if she likes Turning Point? Or who gives a fuck if she wants to be Republican? Why is like that the line? Like, I can't believe she did this. I think the more disgusting thing was when she actually got at Cardi B's kid. Yo, we still got to get to a place where we kind of accept Black people sometimes could be on either side of the aisle politically. Who gives a fuck if she's at some Turning Point shit? Now, granted, is she there for the right reason? Does she believe it? If she believes it, cool. If she doesn't believe it and she's just trying to get at Newsom and trying to get at, like, all these other people who have used like her ops, quote unquote, Cardi and Meg's songs in their promos or campaigns. That to me is like odd and weird because like you're like jumping political to a political side just to get at somebody who isn't in politics, a rapper, right? But if she believes it, why are people acting like this is the worst thing ever?
That does that as well. They claim to be Christians and in step with Christ-like principles, yet they spew hatred, division, and lies. That's what Nicki Minaj is. She sat up there as a walking contradiction. Nothing Nicki Minaj did on that stage was of sound mind. It felt deranged at times. And I don't even know if she realizes that she's being used as a pawn or that she is a fool. She is being used as propaganda to further their agenda. She won't be the first. She won't be the last.
Respectfully, and what I would say to Rachel Lindsay, I'm going to call a spade a spade. If you want to say that Nicki Minaj is being used as propaganda for that particular side, you should have the same opinion about Cardi B when Cardi B was seemingly being embraced by the Democrats. And I think Rachel Lindsay, who I believe is a former lawyer, you'd probably admit that Nicki Minaj's intellect as well as Cardi B's intellect, at least when it comes to in the political realm, are probably the same. They were both used as political propagandists or just really a pawn, right? So if you're gonna keep, don't only have the energy because Nicki isn't being used as a pawn for the side that you rock with. If you're saying that her being used as a pawn for the Republicans or TPUSA, you should also say Cardi B and even Meg Thee Stallion were being used as a pawn for Democrats. And if you keep that same energy, I agree with your point. Because I do think when they throw a rapper out there, like when Trump is like, here's my new friend, Lil Pimp, I get it. Trust me, I do. But you can't just have it for one side. So when Beyonce comes out and supports like Kamala Harris, is she not being used as a pawn, or is she really educated and smart and she knows what's right? Because a lot of times you guys phrase these conversations not off actual logic. It's right and wrong. And y'all put one side as this is the bad side and this is the good side. So if you do A for the bad side, if you do A for the good side, oh, that's great. You're doing your civil duty, your civil service or civic service. But if you do A for the bad side, you're now a really horrific human being. And that's just not how politics go. Like politics, you should be able to make a decision, and whatever suits you and suits your family and your household, and obviously the people you care about, that should be your choice. And if you want to support them by getting on stage or doing whatever, who cares? You get what I'm saying? Like I'll give you an example. Again, at least into this upcoming, or this election coming into this term for Trump. Obviously, people knew I supported Trump, right? Again, I'm not going to a rally and no shit like that. It's like, no. But I was rocking with him because I thought Sleepy Joe was just fucking senile. And Kamala, I just thought, I've never heard a thing from her until now. That was my opinion. Obviously, this is his last term. I'm going to have to figure out who else I'm going to vote for at another time. Who knows? He might be a Democrat, could be a Republican. Who cares? Me and Cardi B, I remember we talked privately. Actually, we talked on the phone. And Cardi said something, and I actually thought it was really smart of her. Cardi was explaining to me for at least why she cares. And I hope Nicki could do the same too. Cardi was like, hey, listen, well, the reason why I'm rocking over here is because of A, B, C, and D. And she had some reasons, right? We didn't have a debate, because it's not my job to debate or convince anyone, just like it's not her job. But what I did respect about our conversation, she admitted, she said, I know you kind of rock with Trump and stuff. And she made sure to say, the way I look at you and our relationship has nothing to do with your political views. And I said the same to her, right? It was like, hey, yeah, and I think that's how it should be. I'm not going to look at Cardi and be like, Cardi, you're a disgusting person, because no. And neither is she looking at me and saying, you're a disgusting person for liking. And this is what I think they're doing to Nicki. Like, they're granted, if we want to critique Nicki Minaj's behavior, Nicki Minaj has given us a plethora of samples of her behavior that you could critique in a vacuum. Her talking about somebody's kid, her doing that, her with Meg's whatever. Cool, I get it. But to draw the line when she pops out politically is, to me, it says more about you than her. It says that you just don't like that she's over there with them, which I don't think really, I think Nicki she could make her own choice.
I could care less about Nicki Minaj going on it. The same way that you talk about, why do they think that we care about Bill Clinton so much?
Yeah.
I feel that same thing. We don't care at this point. Of course, there are the barbs out there who still support anything and try to justify anything that Nicki Minaj does. But we as a Black community are not listening to Nicki Minaj and saying, you know what, she's right. You know what? She's inspiring me to stop attacking little white girls, white children. She's really saying something up there that is really resonating with me and makes me look at myself in a different way as a Black person. Nicki Minaj does not have any influence, I feel, over the Black community in 2025.
Well, why talk about it? Why talk about it? Why is this the only clip from your show that is being clipped, that people are talking about? Yes, Nicki Minaj has some influence. Why talk about it? Anyway, chat, I am running. Gotta go meet up with Rod Wave. Damn, I feel like I gave you an hour stream, but I will be back later. I will continue some of the madness we started. But the boy Rod Wave is in town, one of my favorite rappers. Was on my top Spotify list. I'm gonna get up with him and I'll be back. Maybe get some vlog content or something like that. Not doing I pull up on artists these days. I don't even try to do interviews. I feel like interviews are so natural, like it happens when it happens. or people just like talking, just not building relationships more than that. Anyway, I'll be back. Oh, Charleston White's calling me. Oh my God, he's going to tell me fuck say cheese. No, he's not. All right, chat. I'll be back. Peace.